Alan Kay, a pioneer in computer engineering, once said that people who are serious about their own software should make their own hardware. I'm so excited today to tell you that that's exactly what Shopify's done. And for the first time ever, introduce you to our truly and proudly Shopify-designed card reader, the brand new chip and swipe for Shopify POS. We're announcing today Shopify Pay, and it's a game changer. Our ultimate goal is for nobody to ever fill out a checkout form a second time if they don't have to.
I'm Anshwini Dimseti, and I'm Shopify's new podcast producer. For the next 2 episodes, I'm taking over Shopify Masters to showcase Unite 2017, our annual Shopify Partner and Developer Conference, which was recently held at the Fort Mason Center for Arts and Culture in San Francisco. Unite is where we celebrate the Shopify ecosystem and make our major product announcements for the year. In this episode, we'll unpack 2 of those product announcements, the ones that matter to you, the Shopify merchant. The first announcement is the sleek new chip and swipe reader for Shopify POS, which allows you to accept in-person credit payments no matter where you sell, be it a pop-up shop or farmer's market or a dedicated retail space. And the second announcement is Shopify Pay, a new checkout feature that makes it faster and easier for a customer to buy your products. It's the Shopify checkout, simplified and accelerated. And as you heard our VP of Product, Satish Kanwar, say at the top of the show, it's a game changer. We'll also hear from our Shopify partners, and one in particular, a young man with a remarkable story.
I came as an individual person today, and next year I might come with my team. I'm 100% sure that I will do this.
Oh, and don't worry, Felix isn't going anywhere. After we're done, we'll return to the Shopify masters you know and love. Our first announcement, possibly our biggest, is in many ways also our smallest. How small, you may ask? Tiny. I mean, very small.
Certainly smaller than a credit card. It is just wide enough for a credit card to fit neatly into the top of it.
That's Satish Kanwar, Shopify's VP of Product. You heard him at the top of the show. I spoke with Satish on the second day of Shopify's Unite conference and asked him to describe the chip and swipe reader for us.
It's got a little thumb dome on the front, so without looking at it, you can really orient yourself when you're holding it and kind of walking around.
And unlike our existing credit card readers, the new chip and swipe reader was designed from the ground up by Shopify.
The response has been phenomenal. People are just really, really excited about this hardware, and I'm super excited to see merchants getting it too.
That's our Chief Product Officer, Craig Miller. Craig spoke with me from our downtown Toronto studio. You'll hear from him later in the show. Now, back to Unite.
Alan Kay, a pioneer in computer engineering, once said that people who are serious about their own software should make their own hardware. I'm so excited today to tell you that that's exactly what Shopify's done. And for the first time ever, introduce you to our truly and proudly Shopify-designed card reader, the brand new chip and swipe for Shopify POS. What's so special about this device is just how much versatility and power it packs in something that can fit so nicely in the palm of your hand. It's chip enabled, so it's super secure. It has a backup swipe reader on the front of it for all old kinds of credit cards, and yet it's wireless, so you can use it anywhere you are. We've really put a lot of craft and care into a credit card reader for Shopify POS that can help merchants of all sizes get started in retail selling of any style, whether they're doing pop-up shops or opening their first store. It's just a magnificent device, and we're so excited to give it to people.
When I joined Shopify 6 years ago, Shopify was known as the best website with shopping cart builder. And that's probably what we were at the time. The challenge was we knew that the world was moving to a spot where multi-channel was going to be something real. And multi-channel sounds like a very technical term. It sounds like something you go to conferences with Fortune 500 executives and they talk about this. But basically it means you're not just going to sell in one spot. You're going to sell a few different ways. Once we started surveying our merchants, we found that one of the top ways that most of them actually were already selling was offline. And so we decided we needed to build a system that allowed them to sell offline. And so we launched Shopify Point of Sale, Shopify POS. And when we launched it, we actually had to include some hardware with it. So we included a credit card reader. And this is a couple years ago when we were a smaller company, and we weren't necessarily sure if this was going to work. And so we subcontracted to a third-party company to actually build that reader. And Shopify POS actually took off in spite of the hardware that was not designed by us and was rather clunky. Fast forward to today, Shopify POS is now used by, I think it's about 65,000 merchants. It's actually one of our top channels outside of the online store. Merchants really love it, but the credit card world has changed. So offline, it used to be all about swiping your credit card. Increasingly, it's about something called EMV, which is the chip. And so our old hardware actually didn't support chips. It only supported swipes. A couple of years ago, we decided we actually really wanted to get serious about hardware. And so we started hiring hardware people, industrial designers.
We really wanted to focus on was creating a device that was there to support an authentic retail experience and not to be the star of the show. The goal is to have an intuitive, simple, and very trusted device that kind of blends into any environment that it's with and is easy and obvious to understand how to use, which really just allows the kind of human-to-human experience of buying a product and visiting an independent retailer to come through.
One of the biggest struggles I sometimes have with being a e-commerce company, an online company, is people don't necessarily get the ability to touch and hold some of these things. We spent a lot of time and effort figuring out what the right weight was for the base, for the reader, what the right gripping should be like. So if you actually put it against your phone, it doesn't slide off.
We think it's been hard for people to get that kind of quality with that kind of versatility from other solutions in the market, and especially with that kind of design philosophy going into it.
There's so many details in that reader. It's mind-blowing. And until you hold it, until you play with it, you sort of don't gain an appreciation for it. But I think once you do, you just start really respecting all the effort that went into it in a whole nother way.
And the reader in the broader scheme of the transaction is the least important part of it. It's there as a utility. It's there to be invisible.
And sort of as an industry first, despite it costing us a lot of money to actually design, produce, we're actually going to offer it for free for all merchants in the United States, which we think is super, super cool.
Our second major product announcement is Shopify Pay. We've taken the same secure checkout experience and added another way for your customers to make their purchases. It's faster and simpler. Think of it as an express lane for checkout. And it solves a problem many of us have when shopping on mobile devices.
Okay, I'm gonna get that bag that I saw earlier today online. It's so nice. Such a cute purse. Okay. And checkout. So shipping address, first name. This keyboard sucks. Sutton. Address. Shoot. Okay, I don't even think I'm gonna buy it anymore. I'm done with this. It's taking too long.
That was Shopify's Mary Rose Sutton. Thanks, Mary Rose. Now, let's get back to Unite.
Our ultimate goal is for nobody to ever fill out a checkout form a second time if they don't have to. It's just what's expected by consumers, and it's required for this mobile-first world. So the last piece I want to share with you is an entirely new kind of accelerated checkout that's been here in front of us all along. We're announcing today Shopify Pay, and it's a game changer.
What we've done with Shopify Pay is essentially open the network power of all 400,000 Shopify merchants back to them. What it does is when a consumer buys from any Shopify store, at the end of that checkout process, they're able to check one final box that says, do you want to remember your information for the next time with Shopify Pay? They can enter their mobile phone number, and it stores that information securely with their own personal and portable identity. So the next time they come back to that same store they'd love to shop from, or any other Shopify store, at the first field of the checkout, when they enter their email address, it'll actually just text them an authorization code to complete the checkout experience.
So if you go back a couple years ago, we started seeing a trend where mobile shopping was starting to take off. So people more and more were accessing Shopify stores on their phone. we took that very seriously as a company. We started all sorts of different investments and different bets. The challenge that we saw is despite them spending a lot of time shopping on mobile, they actually weren't buying on mobile. And I know it sounds like I'm saying the same thing, but they would come to the website, look around, add items to their shopping cart, get to the checkout form and think, my thumbs are already tired. I don't want to fill in my name, my information. It's too much. What the hell? Why don't we actually try and solve it ourselves? So we launched Shopify Pay, which is a very simple solution to this kind of bigger problem. So today when you go to a checkout form, there's about 16 different pieces of information you need to fill in.
So instead of going through all 16 fields of a standard transaction, they'll only have to go through 2 to completely finish a purchase. So Shopify Pay is just this invisible part of the checkout experience that's there when you need it, not when you don't. And it provides this kind of underlying layer of trust and speed to all Shopify stores, even brand new ones.
Our product announcements, as cool as they are, only tell half of the Unite story. At our core, Shopify is about making commerce better and easier for everyone, from our merchants to the people who power our Shopify ecosystem. And by ecosystem, I mean the third-party partners and agencies that get their clients to use Shopify.
My name is Rian Beutler. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Ventov. I have a small business banking background, and the reason I got into that was because I liked watching small businesses succeed. I love watching people build legacies for their families and build something cool for generations to come.
The developers that build Shopify apps in the App Store.
And so we started building apps for Shopify, and then we built our affiliate networking app, and that really took off. So we invested very heavily into that, and now we're pretty much only working on that. Hi, I'm Shibo. I'm the COO of Refersion, and Refersion helps merchants run their own private affiliate networks.
And the experts that help merchants like you get set up.
My name is Kim Eriksson. I'm a Shopify merchant, and at the same time I spend part of my time being a Shopify expert. Other webshop owners contacted me asking about, well, how did you do this, and how did you solve the shipping, how did you solve the payments? So I started helping other shops.
But at this year's Unite, one partner's story stood out from the rest. It's the story of one Mohamedou Mifras. Though, to be fair, his story begins when he was much younger.
When I was 18, I was so depressed. All my friends were so happy, 18 is a good age, so there's no worries, we can enjoy. But my thing, it's totally different. We didn't have a stable life. We are just a middle class family in our country. Like, we can afford food, but it's really hard to afford lots of other things. Father, he wasn't able to complete his studies. Mother is the same, she stopped her education. We couldn't pay the loan for the house. We couldn't pay the electricity bill, that is the main thing. They were the poorest, okay? My father, he doesn't know how to maintain a business. He did 3 shops. He bankrupted. The same way that he bankrupted the last 2 shops, he did the 3rd shop. I was like, what's going on?
But Mohamedou worked in those shops anyway. He had to. His family's future was at stake. After school, on weekends, Mohamedou went to work. He cooked meals for the customers of his father's hotel. He sewed. He pressed bed sheets if need be.
Normally, right, other people has hotels, but they do have a good life. But my father doesn't know how to manage a hotel. We work hard, but we doesn't have any savings.
No matter what he did, the shops, the hotels were still failing. His dad couldn't even afford to keep him in school.
That is the worst part that I remember. In the first subject, they call the names in front of all the students, and they just grab us out and take to the office. It was going on for a while, every day, not one day. It was going on again and again. It's like going crazy. Like, no one is happy inside the house.
And that's when it occurred to him. He was stuck. Worse, he was sinking.
I told my father, I'm gonna stop coming for the hotel. Please don't call me.
So Mohamedou decided to leave his father's business, and a decision like that isn't easy. It can't be.
It's really sad to say something like that because he's trying to help me. But I have to say that because it's not gonna work.
And so it became the turning point of Mohamedou's entire life.
I have no idea what I should do. I'm sure that I had to do something with my computers, but I just don't know what I should do. So I went for an IT course in my nearby city.
And there, Mohamedou had a chance encounter with a classmate.
One of my friend in that class, he was doing freelancing. He was just talking something about Fiverr and the kind of work that he does. I quickly came home and opened my computer and created an account.
He set up SSL certificates for website owners, sold hosting packages, minor stuff, Web 101.
I was building like maybe 1 or 2 websites, but the thing is I doesn't know what I'm doing. I doesn't know, like what are the steps that I should follow and what are the things that I needed. There are resources outside about that, but the thing is, it's not in one place.
And one day, a client asked him to set up a WordPress. Not difficult, but not straightforward either. Mohamedou admits he took on the job without really knowing what WordPress even was. And so he did what he had to do. In this case, he turned to YouTube. Mohamedou climbed another rung of the ladder. He joined Upwork. He took more classes, he built his reputation, but Mohamedou was getting frustrated. The number of jobs he took on grew, but due to the nature of Fiverr and Upwork, the returns were small. A familiar feeling started to creep in.
It's going to be like my hotel.
He was stuck. Again. Now, around this time, Mohamedou started hearing about the lucrative world of e-commerce.
Then I realized like how many people, they come to me asking about Shopify.
And that's when a client from Florida reached out to him. He wanted Mohamedou to build him a Shopify store.
When I got my first project, I started to learn more about Shopify. Let's say if I didn't know anything, there's a forum. It was so active. It's not like any other forums. I kept on learning.
Mohamedou was helping merchants all over the world.
People was talking about Shopify.
He joined Shopify's affiliate program in the summer of 2015.
I have taken Shopify projects for $20, $50.
Soon after, at the advice of the Shopify Partner Manager for India and South Asia, Mohamedou signed up to become an official Shopify partner.
He was an awesome man. He was guiding me like through everything, what I should do from the beginning. It's not like any other platforms. I'm able to talk, like with a guy in the company itself.
As a partner, Mohamedou entered a new world of opportunity, but he still had to grind. And so he did. He built store after store after store. And Mohamedou's star kept rising. In April 2016, he became a Shopify expert.
I'm really happy that I did like more than 100 websites. Right? And even I didn't know that I did those websites just individually. I didn't even outsource anyone for these works. Now, after 1.5 years of struggling and working hard, now I do take like projects minimum of $600.
And this changed everything.
2,000, 3,000, even 5,000. It came up to 5,000. It went for another level. I stopped working on Fiverr. I stopped working on Upwork. I was only focusing on Shopify experts because I was getting a lot of leads.
He paid off his father's massive debts, including the debts incurred from the family home. In fact, with the money he was making, he managed to transform every facet of his family's life. He renovated the home, left no debt unpaid, And yes, he even took care of the electricity bill. He also has a car, and he travels for fun, not just to attend technology conferences in San Francisco. Which brings us back to this year's Unite, where something wonderful but not entirely unexpected happened. Mohamedou got his first client for Shopify Plus, our enterprise e-commerce solution for high-volume stores and brands. In other words, he leveled up.
I told him frankly, I know about Shopify, but I doesn't know much about Shopify Plus, and it's just the beginning. I told him, just give me a chance. I will put my foundation properly. Now I'm really happy that I'm gonna start this project, and for sure, when I'm in the next Unite 2018, I'll be a Shopify Plus expert and an app builder. I came as an individual person today, and next year I might come with my team. I'm 100% sure that I will do this. And now I'm growing since the day that I started. And there's still more to come, and even this is just the beginning.
And that's the end of part 1 of our special mini-series, live from Unite 2017. In this episode, we unpacked 2 of our major product announcements. The new chip and swipe reader for Shopify POS, a credit reader designed by us to help you sell anywhere, any style, and Shopify Pay, a faster, easier checkout that reduces the number of fields a customer has to fill out from 16 to just 2. And we heard the remarkable story of one of our partners, Mohamedou Mifras. You can find more information about these announcements and Mohamedou's story on our site, shopify.com/blog. Thank you to our voices, Satish Kanwar, Craig Miller, Mary Rose Sutton, Mohamedou Mifras, and of course, our partners. And special thanks to Arti Sharma, Emma Borg, Jane Lee, Erica Strong, Alexandra Middleton, Natasha Singh, Dasha Sivkov, Nick Chen, Cassandra Campbell, and Praveen Kumar. This special series was produced by me, Anshwini Damseti. Mark McDonald was our executive producer. Parts of this episode were recorded at the Post Office Studio. Oh, and a quick reminder, Felix and Shopify Masters will return in 2 weeks.